And we're back now with Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann. Congresswoman, Friday night, New York became the largest state yet to legalize same-sex marriage. I wonder what you think that portends for the rest of the country. I know you were a strong opponent of same-sex marriage when you were back in Minnesota. Hadn't said much about it lately. What do you think this means?
Well, I stand for the proposition that marriage is between a man and a woman. I think that Minnesota, for instance, this year, just about a month ago or so, passed at the legislative level the constitutional amendment to allow the people to decide what the definition of marriage will be. So that ballot question will be on the ballot in 2012. The people of New York came to a different conclusion. I think what we know is that ultimately you have all the various laws in the various states. There'll be a conflict if someone from Pennsylvania or from New York, for instance, moves to a state where marriage is between a man and a woman. Will these marriages be recognized? Ultimately, it'll go to the courts. As President of the United States, I will only nominate judges who are not activist judges, who are not legislating from the bench. And so I think that's why it's going to be very important to have this debate.
Would that be a litmus test for you, someone who was for same-sex marriage?
I want people who are for the Constitution. That's my litmus test. I want judges who are committed to the fidelity of the Constitution and not acting outside the bounds of Article 3.
So a person who may have been on the record as saying he favored same-sex marriage, you wouldn't disqualify that person for nominating them to the Supreme Court?
My primary test will be the Constitution. They need to be a strong constitutionalist and recognize that just as the justices should not act outside of the bounds, neither should the Congress, neither should the President.
I have to say, I don't think you answered the question, but I'll go on.
Well, no, if you want to go further, we will.
Well, I mean, are you saying you would not nominate someone to the court who favored same-sex marriage?
I know what my view is.
Okay.
I know what my view is on marriage, and of course, I would find the best, most highly qualified justice that there is because it's a very important position.
Do you think homosexuality is a choice?
You know, I firmly believe that people need to make their own decisions about that, but I am running for the presidency of the United States. I am not running to be anyone's judge. And that's where I'm coming from in this race.